Welcome back to Comics with Drew. I'm Drew, and today is a review of Spider-Gwen, Gwen Verse, number 2 by Tim Seeley. And this is a fantastic book. I love doing reviews of comics when the comics are awesome. You know why? Because there's less for me to complain about. It's a wonderful thing, and people should try it more often. Gwen Verse number 1 did the whole setup for this story. So in Gwen Verse number 1, Spider-Gwen or Ghost Spider or Gwen Stacy, whatever you want to call her, she is going into the portal to visit another dimension to go help fight crime and get away from her boring current reality. The moment that she steps through that portal, she gets hit with this projection from the future. So in the future, way into the future, at the end of time, there's this character called Finale. She is the villain of the piece. I don't know, I guess she is a super villain. She is super vain. Finale is in the future, and Finale has decided that she wants to be a living meme, and the way she's going to accomplish all of this is she is going to project herself back through time and space. And so therefore, in everybody's reality, there's going to be a version of Finale, and people can, adore and worship her. So that's the setup. So what happens is she gets all these different special artifacts that are going to allow her to do this or power this machine. I believe it's called the Finalizer. And so the Finalizer needs one additional artifact, but because things don't go according to plan, they can't get that last piece. And so Finale ignores the advice of her scientists and decides that she's gonna go ahead and roll with it anyway. And so naturally, hijinks ensue. So what happens is they set up the machine and they start projecting her through time and space. And just as they're doing that, that's when Gwen walks into the portal, and then bam, she gets smacked with this. And then elements of Gwen Stacy's personality instead of Finale's personality and get sent all the way out through all these different places. And they end up creating basically a bunch of different versions of Gwen Stacy. And in this case, they're creating versions of famous Marvel heroes. So Finale sends her Terminal 6 back through time to try to set things right as far as her perspective is concerned. Meanwhile, Spider-Gwen or Ghost Spider is trying to set things back the way they're supposed to be in the first place. And that sets up our conflict, and that's where we find ourselves in issue number 2. Like I said in the previous video about this, when I was doing the review for number 1, this is how you do alternate version things, okay? You don't just simply say, hey, by the way, in an alternate version, we're gonna race swap this character or make this character diverse or none of that garbage. You want to have something that's inventive and fun, and this is it. This is the inventive fun thing. The writing on this book is hysterical. It's phenomenal. One of the things that I really like about Seeley's approach is that he really understands a lot of the different elements of the characters. You can't write good comics if you do not understand what makes your characters tick. And what he does with, for example, Thor-Gwen is that he puts Gwen Stacy's outsized aspect of her personality where she wants to be worshipped and adored, and that matches really well with Thor, typically, especially in the recent movies, where Thor is running around looking for people to tell him how great he is. And that's what Thor-Gwen is typically doing. So, by the way, this is the female Thor that you're looking for. I just did a video about the Thor Love and Thunder trailer and how that's supposed to be introducing a female Thor, but I would buy this female Thor in a heartbeat. I would actually subscribe to an ongoing series with Thor-Gwen because it's hysterical, especially if it was written by Seeley here. This book, like I said, picks up where number 1 leaves off, and we have Thor-Gwen going with Ghost Spider, and then they go to another dimension where they find Captain America Gwen. And Captain America Gwen is at a quintessential Captain America Americana setting. She's at a county fair, and she's taking pictures, and she's signing autographs, and the way that they set this up, I don't want to spoil this for you because it's really hysterical. The writing on the book is not just hysterical, but it's smart. The plotting is really intelligent. I went back and read issue number 1, and if you really just pay attention to it, it's really intelligently written. One of the things people like to talk about doing, and they do badly, is subverting expectations. That's been kind of turned into a bad word, those two words together. And the reason why is because idiots or hacks try to do it. Now, Seeley actually subverts expectations by taking something that is really a kind of an existential problem in the world today. People trying to be super famous and really obsessed with their personal image on social media. And he takes that and he takes it to the nth degree. He decides to flip it around and he creates a supervillain with it. And with that supervillain commences to issue tons of excellent commentary, tons of excellent social commentary. And I love books like that. Books that are doing social commentary without telling you they're doing social commentary, and they do it so well. That's what we need more of in comics today. Furthermore, we get into this whole thing where Spider-Gwen and Thor-Gwen are trying to find all the different things that have gone wrong in the multiverse, and they're directed by Spider-Zero, and we wind up meeting the Captain America Gwen, and she gets very upset about something, and then she decides that she's going to find out who's at the bottom of this thing that's embarrassed her, and then we wind up finding Wolverine Gwen, and then we have a big fight. Now, during this big fight, we have a couple of kids that are watching this, and you don't really think about why you have the kids there, but the twist ending at the end of that, it is fantastic. I love it. I cannot tell you how great it is. It's an amazing idea, and it's an amazing twist to what's going on. Seeley is just crushing this book. This is an amazing comic book. You really should go buy it right now. If you have nothing better to do, you got $4, go out and buy it. The best books that you can buy right now in comic stores are both $4. It's an amazing value, and this is what you should support. I know people want to boycott things because they're mad about culture wars, but put that aside. Again, I'm going to continue saying this until people can get it through their heads. Support things that are cool and support things that are amazing. And when you do that, then hopefully it gets enough traction that you get more of what you want and less of what you don't want. So inventive stories, hysterical writing, hysterical characterizations. One of the things that I love about the way Seeley writes is that he really understands these characters. He really understands what makes different aspects of Gwen's personality work with different characters that he's creating here. So Thor-Gwen, like I said, is the vain aspect of Gwen Stacy. And Captain America Gwen is the honorable aspect of Gwen Stacy. And then Wolverine Gwen is the angry aspect of Gwen Stacy. And Seeley writes these characters so perfectly. It's a beautiful thing to see. It really is. The art is fantastic in the book. You've got great examples of dialogue, and you've got great examples of the way the art is portrayed. By the way, can someone please explain to me the weird word balloon tales? This is the only book I've ever seen these in. So I know that there's got to be a reason for it. So maybe someone can actually, in the comments, let me know. So Spider-Gwen, Gwen Verse, number 2, with Tim Seeley writing, Judy Nishijima drawing, and Federico Blee coloring. It's a wonderful book. Spider-Gwen, Gwen Verse, 5 stars. I can't recommend it enough. I love this story. I love these characters. Quite frankly, I would love to see an ongoing series with all these different characters because it would be hilarious, especially if it was written by Tim Seeley. Pick it up today. It's available right now. You won't regret it. If you haven't picked up number 1, pick it up. Thanks for watching Comics with Drew. I'm Drew, and I'll catch you next time.